Youth Runner magazine here at the Foot Locker West Regional Championships at Mount San Antonio College with Corbin Coombs of Oregon Mountain High School in New Mexico. First qualifier for nationals from New Mexico since 2018. So that's pretty cool. It's been 6 years. Someone from your state has qualified for Foot Locker Nationals. Start out with that. That's pretty cool. What do you think of being kind of making history here a little bit?
I mean, it's super exciting every time you can cement yourself in the history books for your state or for the country or whatever. So I'm just super grateful and blessed to be in this position. I know God's helped me a lot to get to this point, and I'm just super grateful and blessed.
How familiar were you with the course?
So I was only somewhat familiar because this is my first time actually racing it, but going into this race, I kept watching videos of last year's Foot Locker, just taking down notes, trying to figure out what I would do. And then the day before I did a run through, so I got to know the course recently.
Right, but we're at a bit of a disadvantage compared to some of the other runners who have run this course probably many times. Guys like Trey Caldwell or whatever have run this course many times. So did you sense that at all during the race that they knew the course a little bit better? And do you think that impacted things at all, or not really?
I mean, I'm sure they benefited a lot from it.
Yeah.
I was mainly just focused on myself and trying to get in that top 10.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage.
Right.
Just because I put in so much effort, studying to know how I would race it. And my goal today was to race smart and work as hard as, or as close to as hard as I could.
Right. And so obviously that worked out. Were you trying to just stay near that front pack? I know there was a whole group of you that finished pretty much together with almost identical times. So basically, I mean, there was less than a second between, what was it, 5th to 8th or something like that, right? I think there's a bunch of those guys. So was your goal just to stay in that pack and then make sure there's not 10 guys finishing in front of you?
Yeah, so I mean, mile 1, I didn't actually want to be in that zone already because
Yeah, you were further back, right? At the
Yeah.
the first mile, 25th or something, or?
Yeah, so I was 25th at mile 1, but I was pretty happy with my position just because I felt like I was boxed into very minimally, and then once I was able to ride those downhills, I was able to go from 25th to top 10 within 400 meters. I just moved up so much on the downhill over there, and then my goal from there was all right, so I'm in the position. I feel kind of hurt, but I'm overall kind of fine, so I'll just try and hold position, and it worked out. I think my main focus today was making sure I hit the downhills the best I could.
Now, so your state meet was several weeks ago, correct?
About a month ago.
About a month ago,
I'm not sure
and then you
actually.
ran in Nike Southwest. Was that right? The regionals? Was that last week or the week before? Okay.
I think it was
more recently.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
But y'all, I'm struggling to keep track of time. But
yeah.
I
So
think it
how
was 2
did
weeks ago.
that gap between races? Does that help you? Does that hurt you? I mean, some of the guys in California have been running every week because it's kind of the end of their season, but there's not any gaps between the weeks. So is it help, or is it? I mean, because still a lot of training to do, right? I mean, you got to keep yourself in shape as opposed to some of the other guys who've been racing every week.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've done a pretty good job of keeping the mileage about where it needs to be and making sure that I stay in tune for these races, because going into the season, my goal was to make it to a big national meet, and so I prepared for that accordingly. I didn't drop really low for state and then just plummet. So I made sure that I was healthy and fit enough to press through the season, so I don't think I had any disadvantages there.
Congratulations, Corbin, and good luck next week.
Thank you.